Today, we're diving into a mindset shift that is, no joke, the difference between a business that makes it and one that doesn't. It's all about unlearning something that every single finance pro has been taught and instead focusing on the one metric that actually keeps the lights on.
So let's just start with this because it's a huge kind of shocking truth that really gets to the heart of it. It's not about the profit you show on a report. It's about the cold, hard cash you have in the bank. That's it. Full stop.
And that begs a massive question, right? If cash is truly king, why is pretty much the entire finance world obsessed with profit? Well, the answer exposes this really dangerous blind spot and how we've all been trained to think about a company's health.
So how does this blind spot even develop? Well, it starts with something we're all told is a good thing. Just follow the rules. But what if those rules are actually part of the problem? You see, for decades, the world of accounting has been all about looking backward, into the rearview mirror. The main job was to make sure all the numbers were right, that they followed these super complex global standards. And look, that's important, but it's all about keeping a historical record. And a big part of those rules is that you often recognize revenue when you make a sale, not when the cash actually hits your account. And right there, that's the trap. This focus on the past creates this huge gap between a company that looks amazing on paper, a super profitable income statement, and its actual ability to pay its employees and its suppliers tomorrow morning. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. The old way of thinking is all about looking back. It asks, did we do everything by the book last quarter? But this new mindset, it's all about looking forward. It asks, do we have the cash we need to win right now? You're basically shifting from being a scorekeeper to being a player on the field.
Okay, so if the old way of thinking is a trap, how do you get out? The solution is actually a pretty radical shift. You have to stop staring in the rearview mirror and start looking at the road right in front of you.
And it all starts with this surprisingly simple tool, the daily cash report. Now, this isn't some fancy audited document. Think of it more like a daily pulse check. It's a super straightforward list of every dollar that came in, every dollar that went out, and what's left in the tank to keep going. And this is why it's such a game changer. It's more than just a report, it's an early warning system. It means you can spot a potential cash problem weeks or months before it happens, not after the fact when it's too late. It's all about being proactive instead of constantly reacting to crises. What's really crucial here is you start to understand the company's cash behavior. As you track this data every day, you begin to see the real rhythm of the business, its spending habits, how fast customers pay. It's like you're looking at the company's vital signs in real time, and you can see the true impact of every single decision being made. Now, all this might sound good in theory, right? But let's look at a real-world super high-stakes example where this mindset was put to the test. This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, so imagine this pressure cooker. A treasury manager named Maya walks into this company, Biocore. On paper, they're profitable, but in reality, they are bleeding cash every single day. And the worst part, with over 25 bank accounts scattered across the globe, nobody has a clue why. Her solution wasn't some kind of financial wizardry. It was just a disciplined, step-by-step grind to bring some clarity to the chaos. First, she called out the problem: zero daily visibility. Second, she rolled up her sleeves and did the hard, manual work of building a daily cash report from scratch. And then, after a couple of months of just sticking with it, the hidden patterns started to emerge from all that noise. And that simple spreadsheet, it became everything. It turned into the heartbeat of the business. For the first time, the leaders could actually see where cash was just sitting around doing nothing and where it was being set on fire. They could finally start managing their cash with real confidence instead of just flying blind. So what was the result of all this? Of this new sense of control? Well, it was a massive factor that gave a potential buyer the confidence to acquire Biocore for $1 billion. Now that's the power of shifting your focus from profit to cash.
So let's bring this all home. What's the big takeaway for you? Whether you're a CFO, an entrepreneur, or just anyone in finance who wants to make a real difference.
The most important thing to get is this. We have to unlearn this dependency on perfect, backward-looking reports. The real value, the real strategic advantage, comes from managing what's happening right now, so you can actually shape the future. It's a total mindset shift from just being an accountant to being a true financial strategist.
And really, it all boils down to this powerful idea. Pretty reports don't pay the salaries. True strength, the ability to get through any crisis, comes from having a deep, real-time understanding of your cash.
So I'll leave you with one final thought. Your income statement, that tells you a story about the past,
But your cash balance, that tells you if you have a future. So you have to ask yourself, do you really, truly know your company's cash story today?